I have 5 more minutes to spare. So much work we have to do. So much learning. So much information to cram into our brains. Are you ready to cram the information into your brains? Yes? So this is like the 3rd week. This is where our enthusiasm levels are. In the 3rd week, your 2nd year. It's Wednesday. It's 9 in the morning. That's right. That's when we do civil procedure. We love civil procedure. Today. Before we talk about civil procedure, I have the highly annoying CBS News website, which tells you about this this judgment in the Johnson & Johnson versus Oklahoma case. Did you hear about this thing? Yeah. This is over? What's it remind you of? I've not been around long enough. All these states are filing suit against pharmaceutical companies, and pharmaceutical companies are saying it's not our fault. We just put a bunch of opioids out on the market and told doctors to prescribe them. A lot of them put pressure on doctors and healthcare providers to prescribe and prescribe and prescribe. And that's what happened. Lo and behold, lots and lots of people are addicted to opioids. Right? And so, the state of Oklahoma files a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit, and where they get $572 million out of this judgment, which will be appealed for the next 20 to 30 years. We'll be tied up forever, but this is going to start happening all over the place. We'll see more and more of these judgments. And towards the end of the semester, I will bring someone in to talk to you about multi-district litigation, or we call MDL, which is very oftentimes where this kind of thing ends up, where everybody's suing the same people over the same kind of stuff. And it all ends up in this big giant, well, I'll let them describe it because they can describe it better than I can. The word that I'm coming up with is not one that's appropriate to use in front of class, but it's a big giant cluster of something. So, when I say, what does this remind you of? I think that doing the mathematical breakdown of this is going to pay compensation, or it equals compensation, because probably people never paid ever. It equals compensation for about 58 people in the state of Oklahoma who've been affected by the opioid epidemic. That's not all people in the state of Oklahoma that have been affected by opioid. And how long do you think it took for big tobacco litigation to play out? Ever heard of that stuff? Is know what happened with that? How long between the time that researchers at big tobacco knew that tobacco was harmful and addictive, up until the time of when there was a payout of some kind as against those tobacco companies? How long do you think that took?
20 years.
20 years?
20 to 30 years.
20 to 30 years. 17 years.
50 years.
You're getting closer. I think it's more along the order of like 80 years, right? Somewhere between 50 and 80, depending on who you believe on when the researchers at the tobacco companies knew that the stuff they were putting out there was way more harmful than they're telling people with ads like this. Right? So it's perfectly fine. So, will anyone that's actually been affected by any malfeasance by the pharmaceutical industry, if you accept that there was any malfeasance by the pharmaceutical industry, will any of those victims ever see a payday? No, probably not. That's the majesty of the law. All right. Amended pleadings. Where are we? In our imaginary hypothetical lawsuit that we're doing here, you filed a complaint. The complaint has been served. Now you realize, whoops, screwed something up with that complaint. You put a wrong fact in that complaint. Right? Later you find out, oh wait, that thing that I put in that complaint was wrong. Right? How do you fix it? You did even a single page of reading to this class, you know how to fix it. What? Yeah. Well, do you know? You amend the pleading. I agree with you on that. Okay, you amend the pleading. You can amend the pleading, right? When you've got something wrong, you discover something later on. What if you got it wrong just because you're careless? Whoops, I forgot to put that in. Can you still amend your pleading? Yes? Yes? Anybody say no? You can still do that, right? You screwed it up. What about an entirely new legal claim? Can you still amend your pleading to include an entirely new legal claim that you didn't file your first complaint? Who says yes? Who says no? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What does the rule say? What does the rule say? Yeah.
It has to relate back.
Well, it doesn't have to relate back. It doesn't have to relate back, does it? You might want it to. It doesn't necessarily have to. We'll talk about relating back here in a minute. We're not on that plane yet, right? Yeah.
You get 21 days.
You get 21 days. We'll also talk about. I'm talking about the bare capability of just changing the complaint that you've already filed to include a separate legal claim. That's okay, because what the rules contemplate is any reason, basically, that you want to change it. Any reason that you want to change something. Now, there's parameters to that. Right? If the defendant has already answered, that sort of complicates this, doesn't it? Let's go and look at, well, let's just stay right here. 15A. The defendant hasn't responded, or you're within 21 days. It's a federal rule. Pay attention to this. It's a federal rule. Right? Or within 21 days of when you filed it. Okay. Right? You filed a notice of amended complaint. And why is it a notice of amended complaint instead of a motion? Yes, you do it without the court's permission. Why would you file a motion, right? It was a motion practice last week. Why would we file a motion? We were asking the court to grant us something. Give us this thing. Right? Well, what does the rule say? Yeah. You get to amend once as a matter of course. Yes. Right. No? As a matter of course. That means you don't got to ask the court for it. Days, as long as you're getting an answer. Right? Let's look at what that looks like. Examples abound, and they will all look different. Right? You might all look different. Here's one out of the simple district of Illinois. About the United States of America. You think their litigators know what they're doing? Generally speaking, yeah. Right? Plaintiffs notice there's all this green stuff. You understand all this green stuff at the top. That's put in there. You don't put that in your pleadings. Everybody gets that pleading. The court does that. When you electronically file, that stuff just gets automatically stamped on it. So as you look at these example pleadings, don't think you've got to go in and put in all that stuff. You don't have to. But the heading, right? Everything from United States District Court on down, that's on you when you draft. So, you got the plaintiffs, you got the defendant, title of the thing, right? Plaintiffs of the United States of America, identifying who they are. And then they say, First Amendment complaint is filed as a right under Federal Rule Civil Procedure 15. Hey, remember the last time we were in here, I told you you got to have some sort of statement of jurisdiction. That doesn't mean that you set out a whole separate section that says statement of jurisdiction for every single thing that you file with the court. When you're telling them that they have the power to do what you're asking them to do, okay? You're reassuring the court. Courts like to be reassured that they can do the thing you're asking them to do. It makes them more likely to do it. So if you say, here's the rule that I'm relying on, 15A, 15A3, right? They even go farther. Plaintiffs advise issue this filing and agree to issue seeking a week's additional time response. Say, look, we're getting along. No problem with this at all. Just go ahead and enter our amendment complaint. Okay? You go on and say First Amendment complaint. Can everybody see that? First Amendment complaint makes these changes, and then they specifically set forth what those changes are. Well, welcome. Hello. Everybody coming in late today. Then you got your signature blocks and your certificate of service. You don't have a certificate of service on your original complaint because you don't know who opposing counsel is. By the time you file this notice of your First Amendment complaint, you do need a certificate of service because you know who opposing counsel is. Maybe, right? Another signature block here. All right. Questions about that? We're good, right? Simple, easy. If you're within 21 days under the federal rules of when you file it, the defendant has to respond. Well, what if the defendant has already responded? File my complaint. 5 days later, the defendant, who has nothing else to do, files an answer. Now what? Do you get to amend your complaint? If so, how? Who's got an answer for me?
You can amend it, don't they get a chance to amend their response after that?
That's true, yes. Do you file a motion to amend or just a notice?
It's a motion, though.
At this point, still a notice. Still a notice. You can still do it as a matter of course. Okay? Can you file it as a motion? Sure, why not? Right? Not gonna hurt you. But if we're not beyond 21 days from when the defendant filed that answer, you still get to do it, get to amend your complaint as a matter of course on the rules. Okay? That's important. Everybody got that? The defendant files a motion to dismiss 5 days after you file your complaint. Then what? Can you still amend your complaint as a matter of course? You just file a notice to amend your complaint? Who says yes, you can do that? Nobody? Okay, a few of you. Who says no? Yeah, I'm not sure. Is there? Yeah, you can. You can. There's a lot of room to play here if you screwed up your complaint. That's the thing to remember. There's a lot of room to play here. You can correct your mistakes. In civil litigation, as opposed to criminal litigation, there are very few things that if you screw it up, you can't go back and fix it. Yeah?
So basically, whoever, you always have 21 days to respond or to file a notice to amend the complaint, as long as, like, from whenever the last party says something.
Yes, I think that's a good way of looking at it, right? So if there's a substantial filing, I have a slide. If there's a substantive filing by the defendant, right? If they file anything substantial, mark your calendar for 21 days after that. Like, that's really the thing to remember. Mark your calendar for 21 days after you file your complaint, right? But really, the big clock that starts to tick is 21 days from whenever the defendant files. Okay? That's the bottom line. That's the takeaway from the first part of Rule 15. Okay? But if it's been more than 21 days after the defendant's response, oh my God, I'm really screwed now. Right? Walk back through it procedurally. File your complaint, get it served. Defendant answers. 30 days after the defendant answers, you're like, oh man, I should have included this other claim. I have an entirely different legal claim against this defendant. I didn't bring my complaint. What do I do now? Oh, order in whatever you want, you guys. It's fine. Okay, what happens? Then what do? Time to panic? Time to notify your malpractice carrier? Is that what you do? Yes? You make a motion. You just ask the court to let you amend it. Okay? That's when you make a motion. You amend within 21 days. You got a different scenario. Okay, file your complaint. Defendant answers in 5 days. No, back up. Scratch that. File your complaint. 10 days later, you realize you made a mistake. You file an amendment. 5 days after that, defendant answers your amended complaint. And in that answer, you realize, oh, I screwed up my amended complaint. Then what? You're still within 21 days. Still within 21 days. You've already filed an amended complaint. Now what do?
You have to motion now?
What's that?
We only allow one one free amendment for matter of course, and I have a motion.
You get one free swing. See that the rule? Once as a matter of course. You get one free swing, and then you gotta ask the court. Then you gotta ask the court. Then you gotta make a motion. Okay? Got that? That's simple, right? Just easy. Sometimes you can do it without asking the court. Sometimes you can. There's a motion for leave to amend. Well, in the federal system, I hold that here from the notice. This is without all the electronic filing that you look. Heading, parties, title. And then what you have after that is sort of up to you. You have an introduction. Because this whole thing is basically a memorandum attached to the motion. Do you have to have all that? Not necessarily. Right? Can you just cite the rule and say, sorry judge, we screwed this up. But the rules say, you should let us amend our pleadings whenever justice requires, and justice requires it here. We're within the statute of limitations anyway, so no big deal, no harm, no foul. Yeah, that's the way a lot of, that's kind of the way a lot of these read. Okay? Kind of the way a lot of these read. Now, if you're outside of that statute of limitations, which we'll talk about, That's a different story. See this? See how they did this? Easy, right? Easy. You can do that. You can do that. You're at your summer job, between second and third year, and they say, hey, we need to make a motion to amend our complaint because we screwed something up. You'll be like, yeah, that's easy. I can do that. And then you'll be the hero of your law firm. Heroine's case, of your law firm. And they'll invite you to come back after you graduate, and they'll pay you $500,000 a year. That's the way it works. Okay. What's the rule in Kentucky? Take a guess. 15? Oh, 1. It's rule 15, right? And all the somethings. So look at that. And now, would you imagine that Kentucky Rule 15 is exactly the same as the federal rule, or would you imagine that it's annoyingly slightly different?
Annoyingly slightly different.
CR 1501, amendments. Party may amend his pleading. Once as a matter of course at any time before a responsive pleading is served or the pleading clause no responsive pleading permitted, and the action is not placed upon the trial calendar, and so amended any time within 20 days after it is served. Oh, that's annoying. How about that? 20 days, not 21. But of course, you won't be the kind of lawyer that waits until the last possible day and then realizes that the last possible day was yesterday to file an amended complaint, right? No one would ever do such a thing. But you're going to have busy lives and busy practices, and very often happens that your stuff gets filed at the last minute. Those will be the worst in, especially small law firms, know this reality, right? Happens. So you have 20 days here instead of 21, 10 days here instead of 14. Okay? Just pay attention to that. Just pay attention to the state rules and the local rules, because there may be a local rule on how to amend pleadings, right? Maybe. You don't know until you look. Make sure to look at all those rules before you think you know what you don't know. Okay, let's not get confused about this. You make a motion, assuming you're outside of your 21 days, right? You can't amend as a matter of course. That's the plan we're on here. Do you have to notice the motion in the Kentucky State Court? You have to notice it for their motion hour docket, like we did in here last Friday. Remember, we did a notice motion order? Do you have to do that in the Kentucky State Court, or can you just file a motion? All right. Who says notice it? Gotta notice it. Who says just file a motion? Who's just guessing? Okay. Almost everything has got to be noticed for the motion hour. Okay. Almost everything. Check your local rules, but almost everything. The only thing that you might not have to notice for a motion hour through most of the state of Kentucky is dispositive motions. Motion to dismiss, motion to summary judgment. But in many places, not Louisville, but in many places, you have to notice those too. Okay. Business fine. All right. Questions about anything we covered so far? You can also, instead of getting a legal court, you can ask the other side. Hey, can I file this amended pleading? And how do you think that's going to work out? Well, I phrase that very sort of pessimistically, I guess. But you'll find a lot of cooperation among lawyers, as long as it's the kind of cooperation that isn't going to screw your client, right? So, if the other side thinks that the judge is going to be predisposed to grant your motion, they might just say, yeah, let's show the judge we're getting along, and let's not make him mad, that kind of thing. And why not? Why spend the extra money and expense and heartbreak to brief this thing? You know, maybe, right? Maybe they'll agree. But if you're outside, if you're the plaintiff, if you're outside your statute of limitations, and you want to make an amendment to something that you totally dropped the ball on, that should have been filed 2 years ago, probably not going to give you the permission for that. Probably not. You're going to have to go and grovel to court. Talk about that. Okay, our problems. 421. You've already covered this stuff easy, right? Hillary files a complaint against Bill. Before Bill answers, Hillary files an amended complaint, adding new claims, seeking an additional $10 million in damages. Why does Hillary have the right to do this? You need chapter and verse. Rule and subsection, please. I want this stuff when I finally understand that. Say again? 15A1. 15A1. That's as easy as I can make it, guys. It's as easy as it gets. So if you're lost on this, maybe time for a trip to office hours. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about it. Number 2. Hillary files a complaint, Bill files a motion to dismiss. Hillary says, oh shit, you're right. Before the hearing, Hillary files an amended complaint, which moves the motion to dismiss. Let's jump ahead to Iqbal. Who knows what I'm talking about when I talk about Iqbal? Hopefully all of you, because we covered it in here. Somebody makes an Iqbal motion. Motion to dismiss under Iqbal/Plum motion. Says you have not raised a, what is the standard in Iqbal? Plausible, I've heard it, plausible claim for relief. You haven't connected your facts up to your law such that it creates a plausible claim for relief. Hillary makes this motion to dismiss. He says, oh shit, you're right. And then goes back, tweaks the complaint, where it does state a plausible claim for relief, and refiles. Bill has spent all that, put your defendant's hat on. Bill has spent all that time and his client's money and energy on drafting this motion to dismiss, and it just goes up in smoke. He's got to do it all over again. Is that the way it works? Yeah, those places, that's the way it works. That's it. Makes sense? Can we go on? Problem 3. Hillary files her complaint with Bill. Served on September 15th. Here's where the math comes in. Answers the complaint and has to serve on Hillary on October 3rd. No counterclaims. Remember, this rule is an amendment rule applied generally to pleadings, right? Not just complaints, but answers too. We'll file an amended answer. Say it was 1. Okay? Answer contains no counterclaims. October 20th, Bill files an amended answer. Corrects and errors in the original answer. What rule gives you the right to do that? chapter A. 15A1. A. Thank you. Yes. 15A1. Big A. This isn't confusing, right? Yes. If it is, that's okay. We'll fix it. And make sure you get it fixed before you disappear down the rabbit hole of the stuff that we're going to do the rest of the semester. Theory, claim preclusion, and fun stuff like that. Okay, the Irwin case. Irwin versus McCarran. Why do we care about this case? What's the point? Why did I have you read it? Because you read it, right? What's the point? Why do we care about this one? Yeah. Yes. In what circumstances?
I think in this case, like the party kind of really trying to do like one on the party.
Yeah. Who do you not want to be in this case? You don't want to be that defense lawyer. But what is the court allowing the plaintiff to do here? What's the court allowing the plaintiff to do? Why do we care about this in the context of Rule 15? Yeah. It's after the statute of limitations, right? Because the amendment is being made to the complaint after the statute of limitations is already run. Right? This is where the Rule 15 stuff is a little stickier. It's also where it's more important to you, especially if you're plaintiff's counsel or defense counsel. You care about this more. Why? Because it's life and death for your claim. What if Irwin had come out a different way? We'll jump ahead. Could the court have gone the other way on this? Could the court have said, no, I'm not going to let you amend the complaint, you just lose? Because that's what would happen. Everybody sees that, right? If the plaintiff wasn't allowed to have this amendment, they lose the case. They don't have a defendant. They don't have the proper defendant involved in the lawsuit, and they can't sue against the proper defendant anymore. Because it's beyond the statute of limitations. Everybody's with me on that, right? Okay. Could the court have said, gone the opposite direction? The court have said, no, we're not going to let you do that, you just lose, take it up with the Court of Appeals. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what's the most important rule of civil procedure? Know thy judge. Somebody's made that. Good job. Know thy judge. They got a lot of power over you. All right, so procedurally, before this opinion happens, understand what's happening here. We've already sort of thought through. Plaintiff files a complaint. Defendant kind of screws around for a little while, and then ultimately, after the statute of limitations runs, files a motion to dismiss. You didn't serve the right. Defendant, and now, oh, the statute of limitations is running. And what's the other part of the defendant's argument? Not just that the statute of limitations is running, but what else? There's two pieces. Sorry. Yeah, the amended deadline. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Where is it? Very top of 423. The deadline for amendments set by the pretrial order has passed. We haven't gotten there yet, but what are they talking about? Does anybody know? Yeah. So under 26, under Rule 26, we'll cover this later. But you got to all get together and confer on a litigation schedule, right? Sometimes the court will decision. It's in a way different jurisdiction to jurisdiction. And this doesn't usually happen in state court, depending on state court. But in federal court, under Rule 26, you're required to confer and submit a litigation plan to the court to look at. And that litigation plan sets out deadlines usually for amended pleadings. Amendments are due on such and such date. And the defendant here says, well, we blew that date, so sorry about your luck. Also, blew the statute of limitations, so we should just win. We touched on it already. The big rule that they're talking about here is C1C, right? 15C1C. And there's a lot of language packed into C1C, but what's the point? What's the point of that rule? There's this nice big block quote in the Irwin case that sort of sums it up. But really the whole second part of the opinion sums it up. What's C1C? What's the point of that rule even being there? What's that trying to tell litigants?
If you made a legitimate mistake, if you really thought you were safe, then as a defendant, then there's a strong interest in protecting you in that way. But if you purposely was trying to say like, then you won't let you know.
Boil it down even more. In lay terms.
So you say you want to balance the defendant's interest in having success with the plaintiff's interest in being suitable.
Well, there's that. Yeah. The point of C1C, and all that you see in that rule, is basically don't play games, right? Don't make this into a game. What it says in that block quote right at the top of 425. Asserted law is not a children's game, but a serious effort on the part of adult human beings to administer justice. Reasonable minds can differ. Right? The point is, don't waste our time. Don't waste the court's time with this stuff. If you knew that there was a lawsuit out there, you knew you should have been defending it, don't waste time. Don't waste our time with this stuff. Okay? We got better things to do. Don't play games. Little things. You can amend pleadings to conform to the evidence at trial. That's what the thing B, right? You don't really want to rely on that strategy, but you can. Right? When you're at trial, say, look, the proof has come out this way, and so I'm going to go ahead and amend our complaint. And it's all imaginary, and it happens right there on the spot. It doesn't really happen. Yes. Yeah. It does. The new pleading supersedes the old one. Meaning, I can tell you horror stories about this. Include all the language that you want to keep from the first complaints. If you're filing an amended complaint, for example, right? Put all the stuff in from your first complaint that you had in there to begin with. Don't just put the new stuff and say, here's the new stuff we want to add to our complaint. Like seem kind of elementary, or at least incorporate by reference, right? You learn what incorporation by reference is in contracts or something, right? Incorporation by reference, you're saying, right, I'm incorporating all the stuff and bringing all the stuff that I said in my original complaint into this amended complaint. I don't want to retype it, I'm busy. But I'm incorporating my reference. Okay? So since I'm referring to that old complaint, it is hereby incorporated into my amended complaint. Because if you don't do that stuff, and I've seen this happen, I swear to God, if you don't do that stuff, you'll then be subject to a motion for summary judgment or a motion to dismiss, based on the fact that your complaint doesn't have enough stuff in it, right? Because the court only gets to look at the amended complaint. The amended complaint supersedes the original complaint. And so if somebody really has an appeal, the judge really has an appeal, they can make your life fairly miserable. Yeah.
I just had a question. If you amend your complaint, you also remove claims you no longer pursue. It comes out.
Yes, yeah, sure, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that touches on this, right? The new pleading supersedes the old one. So if you decide that intentional infliction of emotional distress claim that was filed by predecessor counsel is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, let's get rid of it, which you might do, right? You might. 9 out of 10 times probably a good idea. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
When you say you incorporate the reference, you don't like attach the old one as well so we can see it, or?
You can, yeah, you can. I'll get that. So the point of 15C is that relation back is going to have. I kind of think that the book muddles this a little bit, makes it a little bit more confusing than it needs to be. And the point of 15C, and the point of amending your pleading, especially after the statute of limitations, is that it relates back, right? An amended pleading that doesn't relate back is probably not going to do you a whole lot of good. But that is essentially like going back in time and saying, all right, whatever I should have filed in my complaint a year ago was actually filed in my complaint a year ago. Everything's fine now, right? All right, here's your scenario. Ready? You got a whole half hour to do this. Plenty of time. You're in the federal court, represent plaintiff. You accidentally sued the wrong defendants. No answer by defendant. Filed suit last week. Any other facts you want to have in there, you can make them up. Give me something that looks like something that you could conceivably file in the federal court to handle this situation. Everybody see that? You want to monitor it? I can't make it bigger from here. Groups of 5 or fewer, please.